Consider supporting Sonicguru Productions on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. Okay, to kick things off, we're going to talk about the major game, Team Sonic Racing. Which, as of now, we have the announcement trailer, we have gameplay trailers. The Junsenoi is a part of it, as well as Crush 40 doing the main theme, which people are trying to decipher the lyrics, call it Green Light Ride. Not too sure of that name.
Well, find out when we actually hear the whole song.
Yeah. As of right now, 9 characters are available. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, Omega, and it's just funny seeing Omega drive around in a car. I don't know why, it's just funny.
Yeah, well, I've already seen someone that put an image saying, "Is this car look like a Lego Lego recreation?" Which, yes, people have pointed that out.
Well, it's reflecting the character designs. It's what else can you do? The same way Knuckles had the quad bike in Sega All Stars Racing. He had spikes on the front. It basically was him. Sonic has spikes on his all three of his cars.
Yeah,
and not too sure how long ago we had the announcement of Amy, Big the Cat, and the Chow. We had all four Chows: Normal, Hero, Dark, and Omo.
Yeah, we have to bring him back.
No Chaos, no Angel, and no Devil. Missed opportunity, unless that's another skin. Please let there be skins in this. I know it's like a just cosmetic thing, but the players Poyo Amy, maybe the Boom Sonic. Come on!
I'm still holding hope that Styx is going to be in this. Again, we don't know yet, but who knows?
It's like 15 characters, but right now we're assuming Eggman's going to be playable, and we have the Egg Pawns there, the blue and orange, and maybe Metal Sonic. So the last characters could very well be Silver, Blaze, and hopefully Styx.
Yeah, hopefully.
And a lot of people pretty much came out saying, "No, Big's not going to be in it. What's the point of that?" I fucking called it.
Well, to be fair, let's be fair. From the moment we heard about this was going to be just a Sonic Cast racing game only. I mean, it's pretty much obvious. Like, well, you're going to get most of them in, or at least the ones that people want to see in.
Yeah.
Even if one of them is just a joke.
Even though the All-Star series did have a majority of Sonic characters. That's why it's called Sonic and. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, and Big, especially the first one.
I will say I'm a little bit upset at the fact that this is just only a Sonic Racing, not another Sega Racing game. I will admit I'm a little disappointed about that because, again, we've played the first one and Transformed, and you think, well, there could have been a lot more they could have done with that whole gimmick. And seemingly now they're just going for something completely new, which is, let's be fair, with Sonic fans, we know they do this all the time, always ditching one concept into another.
Yeah, with racing games, there's only so far you can actually go with it. Like, look at the Mario Kart series. Like, the first 3, if you include Super Circuit, it was very basic. It's just arcade racing, but you throw stuff at people. Double Dash changed up a little bit. That was its gimmick. Then the Wii came in and basically, look, you can do motion-controlled steering. That's why every single copy came with a steering wheel. 7 got introduced the hang gliders, and 8 introduced the anti-grav. So it's only so much of uniqueness you can add. I still prefer Sega All-Stars compared to All-Stars Racing Transformed, but Transformed is like the peak of arcade races. It's like, what are you going to do? Well, you still got basic Mario Kart, but now you can be a boat, and now you can be a plane in all the same race. Yeah,
it is kind of funny. By the time it came out, a lot of people noticed in, what was it, Mario Kart? It was Kart 8 or 7, basically, that there were moments where you either had a glider or you go in the water, but that was only for small segments, whereas All-Stars was, no, it's part of the race, start off with the car, the 2 tracks, and then you're in a boat or a plane. And sometimes
a lot of people, they're both teams, Nintendo and Sumo have no idea that they were making a similar style game. But it's basically, okay, you got kind of a similar idea, but what are you going to do about it? Well, this one you got three things. That's basically just one little gimmick that just appears.
Like I said, the fact that, have the same idea about how you use them, Totally depends on the team members.
And with Team Sonic Racing, the actual gimmick is that it is literal a team. You have a team of 3, and depending on what positions your teammates are in, that accumulates the points. So even if you're in first place and your teammates come in second and dead last and second to last, but your rival team becomes second, third, and fourth, they get more points. So even though you could be better, but your team rates suck, basically, there's only one other game that did this, and that was Nitro Kart.
I was going to say, that was the weird thing I was thinking of, is in the last time I even saw any like a mechanic like this was Nitro Kart, and as far as I'm aware, I don't remember how that worked in that game, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't very good.
No, it was minute. It's like you are on a team, so you pick with Team Crash or Team Cortex, and you use Crash, Coco, Crunch, or Cortex, Engine, or Tiny.
Yeah.
So, but when you do races, they can't hurt you, and you can't hurt them.
No.
But you still have to come first. If they come first and you don't, but you still can't hurt them, you completely fuck the race.
Which is, again, kind of an odd thing. At least I'm thinking with this one is, like, if the other members come in first, well, surely that should go to the point system.
Yeah. So this one basically is the same concept, but it's still the notion here that you can still play solo in races in Team Sonic. You don't have to be specific, like, oh, you got Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team whatever. So you can mix and match your teams. You got your main racing player, and you pick your teams. It's like Smash Bros. In a sense, if you're doing team battles.
Yeah, I might as well talk about basically the whole pitch of this idea, because again, Yukaza basically said he pretty much saw Overwatch and he thought, like, wow, that's kind of interesting, unique characters and team mechanics, and thought, how do we do that in a racing game like this? And also he decided, well, we haven't had I guess you could call their version of a racing game since the Rider series, which that's pretty much now dead and buried. So the fact that something like this is...
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised that it actually did die because of the fucking Kinect.
Yeah, well, a lot of things died with the Kinect, didn't it?
Well, Mega brings up a good point. What was the fifth team is Babylon?
Just to bring those guys back.
I guarantee there'll be DLC. I would pay $5 to play Team Babylon.
Oh boy. I guess so. But anyway, we might as well get... But yeah, anyway, for what we know of the game, the big thing, of course, is the fact that having a single-player adventure mode, as they're calling it in a minute. And so far, what that's going to entail is basically, is this going to be a story mode? Which, again, the fact that people then bring up the whole argument, why is Sonic in a car? It's just like, well, the last 2 games, it didn't matter.
Tangent on that little argument. Why is Sonic in a car? Here's the reason why. Yeah, it's the same reason he brought it up 2 times he's been in the fucking car. It's the same reason why he's slow in the Olympic Games. It's called a fair fucking chance. You do have to bring this up every time Sonic's in a car. Every time.
I think it's now that the fact that deciding we're going to answer this after about how many years? Because, oh god, this has been 2010 since the first one.
But even then, I can go back to 1994.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going about the Drips series or whatever.
And even then, that was just shamelessly ripping off Mario Kart on an 8-bit system. No one questioned it then. It's like, hey, it's a race. It's Sonic's version of a kart racer. But now it's basically, oh, Sonic's meant to be fast. He's the fastest thing alive. Why is he in the car? It's called a fair fucking chance. You don't need 3 games to explain it 3 fucking times.
No, but again, I kind of giggle the fact that they're actually putting something in here, and I'm kind of wondering exactly how they're going to do it. And I have no questions that the plot of this game is going to be typical, slightly nonsense fare. I mean, obviously people are going to make fun of this or whatever. But
the story's going to be very meta about it, I guarantee you.
Probably, yeah. Though what I'm interested in more is basically how they're going to tell it, because, again, if they're going to go... Because I would be surprised if they go for, like, actual in-game cinematics, like you have sort of post and after races of the characters meeting up, interacting with each other and whatever.
Like Nitro Kart again.
Yeah, again, like that. Basically what they did in Crash Team Racing. In fact, I had to talk about this on Twitter with someone basically saying that does this game need to have a story mode? Just like, well, Team Racing didn't, but in its excuse, it's just a setting to just have all this happen. And for what I'm aware, all I'm thinking is basically, if they do either pre-CG or arguably in-game engine stuff, I'll be happy. If it's the worst thing is if it ends up being like Riders, where it's just a bunch of still rendered images with just text, and it's like, oh, come on, guys.
You're on a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. Why the fuck can't you do this?
Yeah, I know why, probably, because again, it's a lot of time and effort just to build a racing game in general. So the fact that if you put in the extra effort to put in cinematics like that, again, totally depending on what the development team are going to do, but I hope that's what they're going to do. That's my only concern, really.
Yeah, with time and effort, it's like I can just point to writers like, look, that's on GameCube. The time and effort went into making an actual decent racing game. I don't care what people say. Riders is the best one of the trilogy, and that had a deep racing system with all the trick systems. You got the speed, flight, and power types, which in this case is still speed, flight, but technique this time. Makes sense. Somehow the Chow is a technique type.
Well, the fact they're running it at all, I think that's just basically saying, well, fans want them. We're not going to do a
Chow. Thinking of it's a choo-choos from All Stars Racing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
As I was saying, Ryder still had a deep gameplay technique, and you had to use the tricks to get the X ranks to actually get a good speed boost, maintain your air, keep up your speed, and you use the items accordingly. All except for the actual ball and chain. Fuck that fucking thing. But that still had cinematics, in-game cinematics with only 3 CG movies.
Surprisingly, yeah.
The intro one was just fucking ridiculous. Not the animated one by the actual people who made Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I mean not the 2D bits, the actual.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
The actual opening CG for the Sonic story, that was just bad. I don't know why the model was just really off. But again, every other cutscene was in-game cinematic, and that was on a GameCube disc. And the fact, at least Free Riders had the excuse of being a launch title. That's the only excuse. That's the only excuse I'll give it. I won't forgive the bad writing, and I won't forgive the bad dial.
There's a lot of things we won't forgive about in Sonic games. To be fair, we're Sonic fans. It doesn't mean we're going to love everything about it. That's one thing we're for certain for.
Yeah,
but again,
I'm waiting for the day where people say Sonic Mania is an overrated game.
But that'll probably come sooner or later. But anyway, with Team Sonic Racing, which is very hard to say because I keep wanting to say Sonic Team Racing. Although every time I think about that, then are you referring to the developer or does the game? So there you go. There's a conundrum for you. But I do. Sorry.
Yeah, no, perhaps I was agreeing.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously the main thing is how this game is going to play. And from what we know of what people have played at E3, I mean, obviously the idea is that from what we know, it plays similar to the previous ones, as in you're still using drift. You use items and drifting to basically get ahead and steering and all that stuff. There's different layers of paths you can go through. The big difference, obviously, now is you have your teammates. And the idea of this is that you can swap and match different items. You can, for instance, one thing that I think they took it from Outrun is you can sort of go in like a curve system. Like they'll have a trail, which you can then basically follow, and that will either give you more speed and momentum.
So it's kind of like the drifting or the turbulence from Riders?
Probably, but like I said, that's the idea of the game. The idea is that as you're racing, your other teammates can help you out during races, or you can help them. That's the whole gimmick. And what I've heard is very mixed results from people. Like some say it does work, some say it's a little tricky depending on the AI. Because that's my only concern is how good the AI of this game is going to work to make this feel, particularly in single player mode, worth playing.
Well, if there's anything like any other fucking AI in any game, basically the computer players will be really fucking good, and your AI will be complete fucking douche models, either just going on ahead and beating you, or just not living up to your expectations because they have performance anxiety.
Yeah, I mean that's my only fear about that. Although once we get into multiplayer, I think that's undoubtedly that's going to be a thing that people are going to have the most fun with, and that's going to be the main selling stick, I think, when it comes out.
Bring on the 12-year-olds calling each other racist names.
Nah, it's our ages, let's be fair. It's not the 12-year-olds anymore, it's our ages who do that.
Oh, and I guarantee you some parents out there are going to buy their kids a racing game and probably get really into it. Don't care that it's Sonic, but it's a good... I don't think that's going to be a good racing game. Sumo's track record is good.
I mean, I'm hoping, from the basis of it, they can't really cock it up too much. If they got the same basic mechanics and the same, I guess, driving layout they had in the previous game, if they just build on that, but there's only this team mechanic, you'll still have a functional game. I mean, I think we got to a point now, whatever the new Sonic game is, it's going to be functional. It may not be...
Yeah, they've done the recent Outrun games, 2 Sonic racing games. It's like, they know how to do a good racer.
Yeah, they know how to do...
Don't doubt in the gameplay set in the racing mechanics, it will not be bad. It is
No.
basically how the hell is this team-based mechanic going to actually add to the gameplay?
Exactly, yeah.
Because in Transform, turn into a boat and a plane, changed your mindset because the boat had different
because you were riding waves, and depending what the water was doing.
So you had the geometry working against you in a boat, and not to mention you had more tighter turns. And in the plane, you had, I guess, 360 movement, and you went a bit faster. I didn't notice any. Say it's the fastest one. I don't notice any fucking difference. I felt faster in the car.
No, it's funny actually because whenever I do play those two games, it's kind of funny playing the two back to back because again, they're very different games in themselves. I mean, functionally they play more or less the same, but again, it's that little transform, it's that little aspect that makes the biggest difference. And again, that's going to be what team racing is going to be like in this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Spike. Series Sound Spike. Brought up in Alien Colonial Marines, the actual bad AI is because of one typo in the AI.
Oh.
Aliens Colonial Marines had bad alien AI because of they misspelled one word, one digit letter was misspelled.
Oh God, I didn't think that was possible. I mean, that's more like
console gamers are completely fucked, so I can't really play that in its full entirety. Yeah. I can barely fucking play it myself anyway. But PC, all you do is change one letter, take one letter away on a word, and all of a sudden the AI actually is challenging enough.
Oh.
Still doesn't make the game better, but you know what? At least the AI actually fucking works.
Yeah, well, hey, that's a whole other story with that development cycle.
Yeah. But again, it's how AI should work. And like we said, with the AI in a racing game, it should be to a point where it's challenging, but not to a point where it's halting your progress.
No, I mean, that's the main thing is there's a technique called rubber banding, which is basically the more you're out front, obviously the harder the drivers are going to get to you. And
Transform is the worst rubber banding I've ever fucking seen in my life. I hit those fuckers 3 times and they're still in front of me.
Yeah, it was likewise, I was going to say the other way, when they're ahead of you, you've pretty much almost got little to no chance of even catching up. Which is the only thing they have said about this game is the idea that, again, your teammates will help you get back into the race quicker, which is, again, I think I haven't seen something like that since Driving San Francisco, which, ironically, the one thing that has in common is there are races in that game where you actually play 2 separate vehicles, switching between the two to get either in first or second.
I keep playing. I remember just playing that once, and I completely forgot you have a car hopping mechanic.
You forgot the whole basic.
I forgot the whole fucking gimmick.
Oh dear.
But we can look forward to Team Sonic Racing. When did it say it was going to come out again?
This year, winter.
It's this year, but like November. Is it November?
Tends to be November. That's normally the main date when they release these type of games.
Yeah. We can look forward to playing that. I'm guarantee we're going to get some more music and character intrigue later on, and possibly some day one DLC.
Probably. I mean, they always do that. I will say this: I was in game the other day telling someone about this, which I did say I'm kind of glad this game is coming out the way it is, because if Crash Team Racing Remastered had been announced this E3, it would have been slaughtered.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. I mean, even if the game's good, I mean, trust me, people will just beeline it to Crash Team Racing regardless.
All right. Hi, Dan.
Hi. We're streaming right now.
You what, sorry?
We're live streaming.
It's all right. There's a way to end it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, Smash Ultimate's coming out this year as well, so it's already screwed.
Yeah.